Good morning, students. This is your teacher Neelam Elawat, and today we'll be studying a few more activities related to the characteristics of matter. Yesterday I sent you a video regarding our first activity. Now we'll take up the rest of the activities, and I hope you're enjoying the activities, you are enjoying the online classes, you're very attentive and very serious regarding the studies. Students, do not waste this time while you are sitting at home, but keep yourself mentally, physically and socially fit. Keep yourself healthy, maintain the social distancing and be aware of the coronavirus. So with this, we'll start with the activities. Okay, students? So keep your book, notebook and pens ready. Shall we start? Let's start, dear students. So we'll start the second activity. First we have done yesterday. So today we'll start with the second one. That is, we've talked about the characteristics of matter. The second characteristics was the particles of matter have space between them. We have talked about that every matter is made up of particles, and these particles are so small that we cannot see them with naked eyes, but they have space between them. So to demonstrate this, we'll perform an activity. What we'll require for this, we'll have a beaker. So first we'll take a beaker. Okay. Second, we'll pour water into it. What will pour? We'll pour water. H2O is the formula of water. Now we'll take approximately 100 ml of water and we'll add 1 spoon of sugar. Okay, we'll add 1 spoon of sugar or salt. We can take either sugar or the salt. Now you can see we are adding 1 spoon of salt. Yes. See, salt has, or you can say sugar has entered into the water. Now mix it. Okay, stir it properly. What you will observe, students? Do you have any idea? Do you think the sugar or salt will be soluble in water or not? Will it dissolve in water or not? What do you think? What do you observe? You will observe that after some time the sugar will disappear. Okay, here it is visible. The particles are visible to you, but after some time, when you mix it properly with the glass rod, this is your glass rod, mix it properly with the glass rod. So you will observe that it will disappear. Now the question comes, where the sugar has gone? Any idea? The sugar has dissolved in water. See, I have made this visible part. See, now the particles of sugar, they are in between the particles of water. Right? There were some spaces in the water particles. You can see here, there are some spaces, and in between those spaces, the sugar particles had occupied the space. So any substance that dissolves means it has occupied the space between the particles of the solvent. Here we are dissolving sugar in water. So water is your solvent. Okay. So sugar has dissolved in water means it has entered into the spaces between the particles of water. Water जो है वो particles का बना हुआ है. उसके पार्टिकल्स के बीच में स्पेस है, तो शुगर उस स्पेस में एंटर कर गया है. इट इज बिटवीन दोज स्पेसेस एंड thus the sugar has become soluble. So from this activity we are clear that particles of matter have space between them. Okay, so particles of matter have space between them. So what we have taken into this activity? We have taken a beaker. First we have taken the beaker. Okay, we have taken a beaker. Then we have added water. Then in the water we have added some sugar. And after some time we observe that the sugar has dissolved into the water, indicating that it has occupied the space between the water particles. Okay. Let's go to the next topic. Next slide. Particles of matter are continuously moving. पानी के या कोई भी मैटर है उसके पार्टिकल्स कॉन्टिन्यूसली मूव करते हैं. Yes. Let's see this. Suppose you have water in the glass or in the beaker. Yes. Suppose you have water in the glass or the beaker. Now put a few drops of ink into it. What we should add? Put a few drops of blue ink or red ink into it. What you will observe? Can you observe the motion of the particles? Can you observe the motion of ink into the water? क्या आप देख सकते हैं कि इंक जो आपकी ब्लू या रेड कलर की है वो उसमें आप मूव करती हुई आपको नजर आ रही है? Yes. Exactly. The particles of the ink are moving in the water. Right? So we have shown these particles, they are moving in all directions. They're trying to mix it with water. Right? Is it clear? So here the particles of ink, they are moving in the particles in the water, and they are trying to mix with each other. Okay, so this intermixing of particles is called, that is intermixing of two or more different types of particles, is called diffusion. What it called? Diffusion. Okay. Suppose if you add lemon juice into the water, again you will find that the particles of lemon juice will move in water and they'll mix with water, right? Again this will be diffusion, right? And yesterday I've given you an example. Again I'm giving you the same example. Suppose your mother is making halwa in the kitchen. So the smell of halwa will reach you in your study room, isn't it? Or in your guest room, wherever you are. So again this is the particles of halwa are mixing with air. Okay. Now suppose you are applying perfume on your body. So again you can smell the perfume from a distance, right? Again the particles of smell or the particles of perfume, they mix in the air and travel from one place to another. So this is also an example of diffusion. Okay, this is also an example of diffusion. Suppose आपने घर में गैस ऑन छोड़ दी है तो आपको गैस की भी स्मेल आ जाती है कि गैस सिलेंडर ऑन है. Again that is because of diffusion, isn't it? So whatever you smell, whether it is good or bad, that is all because of the phenomena or the process called diffusion, right? So these particles of matter, they are continuously moving from one place to another. Very good. Understood? Okay, let's go to the next one. The particles of matter, they attract each other. Okay, the particles of matter, they attract each other. Now what we'll do, we'll take three things. First we'll take an iron nail. Second we'll take a chalk. And third we'll take a rubber band. Okay, we have three things. First is iron nail, chalk and rubber. Now try breaking it. Can you break rubber? Yes. Can you break the chalk? Yes. It's the easiest one. You can easily break the chalk, right? Which one is easier to break, chalk or rubber? Chalk is easier to break. A rubber will require a greater force, isn't it? And can you break the iron nail? No, not at all. You cannot break the iron nail, right? It is very hard. Hard means its particles are very, very closely packed. Its particles are very closely packed with each other and they have a strong force of attraction. They have a strong force of attraction. Acha, out of the three, which one has the strongest force of attraction? Which is difficult to break? Iron, correct. So it has the strongest force. Okay. So it has, the particles of iron have maximum force of attraction between them. Right? Then comes the rubber. It has lesser force of attraction than the iron, but it has a more force of attraction than the chalk. Right? It has a more force of attraction than the chalk. Okay? So its particles are like this. The particles, they are packed, but they have little bit space between them, or they have a lesser force of attraction than the iron. Now this one is your chalk. Okay? Understood? So they have a particles, they have a, although all the three they are solids. Okay, all the three they are solids, but I'm showing you in a hypothetical way that iron has a stronger force of attraction because its particles are very, very closely packed. Rubber has lesser than the iron because its particles are packed, but the force of attraction is lesser than the iron. And the chalks have, the particles have more space. You can say they have a least force of attraction in comparison to iron and the rubber, and it can be broken easily. So I'm trying to tell you the space like this. Okay? Is it understood? Yes. So iron is difficult to break. Rubber is, require lesser force, or there are chances that we can break it. Chalk we can very easily break. So strongest force of attraction is there in iron, least force of attraction in chalk, and the medium force of attraction in the rubber band. Okay, dear students? Have you got it? Very good. Let's go further. Now this is your homework for today. You'll prepare notes of the topic, right? This, whatever we have talked about, the three activities, you will write down in your notebook, and you will read page number 2 of the NCERT. Right? You will read the page number 2 of the NCERT. Yes? And you will report this homework to me. You will send the photos of homework to me on my number. Okay? Very good. So keep enjoying your lessons and keep responding, and be safe at your home, and don't let your studies lag behind. So all the best, everyone. Bye, everyone.